Facebook, and also we had to go and try to reset in regards to our YouTube as well as our Instagram, but we lost our Periscope Twitter tonight. So, but we'll be back on and making sure we do it right on Friday. It just had to do with the network. Maybe too cold. We don't know exactly what it is. So again, we just want to come to you and share you some hottest topics about sports and from our point of view. Now, let co-host that'll be joining me at 8 o'clock Central Standard Time. And the first co-host is Coach Lauren D. Smith. She's our millennium, and she's a lady of the show. Coach Tremaine Edwards, he's known as the King out of North Alabama, and he's bringing some expertise way beyond his age and years. So we're excited to have him. The radio personality, Don Kima Entertainment, none other than Coach Darrell E. Train Elliott. You know, he's our radio personality, but since everybody else a coach, we have an opportunity to identify him as the coach of the airways. And last but not least, the gentleman who's in retirement stage, and they say he's on fixed income now after putting 30 plus years in education and also as a coach and as the second in charge with the Alabama High School Athletic Association. He retired on July the 31st, and that's Coach Tony Touchdown Stallworth. So those are my co-hosts, and our call-in number again is 347-857-4192. The web link to hear the show is www.blogtalkradio. I just had to hit a button here, I'm sorry. blogtalkradio.com/The Smith Way Production. And I thank everybody now have me on Facebook Live. I want to say I did the introduction and Sports Plus preview show. We do it every week right before we do our show. We run it behind about 14 minutes because when technology decided don't want to work, it will stop working. So we managed to get up 3 of our networks to make sure we share some thoughts with you tonight in regards to being the voice of the historical Black colleges and universities, high school, and middle school athletics in the southeastern part of the United States. So as we move forward with trying to share some thoughts about our show, we want you to know that you can email the show as well at talkingsportsplus@gmail.com, as well as you can tweet the show at talkingsportsplus with the number 1, at Lorenza D. Smith, at Elliott, number 1, at Tremaine Edward, number 7. And also, we're on Instagram, but I'll just share some of the Instagram accounts that we do have. And that's Lorenza D. Smith 15. You have Coach Doctor is Dr. Lorenza D. Smith 15, and D'Alberto Smith Production. And you can get with us, and you can be a background as well as going to YouTube TV. Let me tell you about, we started up with YouTube, and we have our channel, which is our TV channel, which is the Smith Way Production. You can go to that on YouTube, see our shows, and which is considered. It's not a broadcast of our show at 8 o'clock Central Standard Time, which is the original show, Talking Sports Plus, but it gives you a preview when we share some thoughts. All right, now the title for our show tonight is Sports is Live and Well in 2018. We're going to talk about some hot topics in regards to historical Black colleges and universities, as well as high school, playoff, as well as what's trending. And we also have one of the topics that we feel like, which is our coach's corner, but we have changed the name to the Wonderful World of College Football 2018. So we're going to talk about many topics as we go through our format tonight. So we want to make sure you join us. Now, again, if you own YouTube, you can kind of see the banner behind me, and I'm making some adjustment with my phone so you can see it, and has the call-in number. And again, I gave it to you, 347-857-4192, and you can call in and you can be a part of the show when we're talking about these hot topics, which I'm gonna go through in a minute. And then we're gonna take our break, which is about a 20-minute break, and we'll come back with my co-host as well as you as a caller to call in. So if you call in of your cell or telephone number, and then I ask you to by giving your name, your location. That's how you can really be a part of the show. To the well.com/the Smith Way Production, and you can just listen to the classes. So you're talking about a long time playing some football. There have been very different, different opponents for Alabama State University, but they played in it for over 50 years. They played against Tuskegee University, then they moved to our Labor Day class with Tuskegee University and had other individuals to fill in, other schools to fill in. Alabama on regular season record in the MEAC, so they are regular season champions. In the Southwest Athletic Conference, you had a champion. In the Southwest Athletic Conference, you had a Eastern led by Alcorn State University, who won the Eastern Division of the SWAC. He has home. They will give him an opportunity. So we look forward to him having that chance, but deal to go to another. Don't get drafted he will make somebody good backup quarterback, was his second string or third string. And you never know the way they're falling down and getting hurt in the NFL when they're dropping, they're adding people that actually working in grocery stores, becoming the quarterback who was one time outstanding quarterbacks who hadn't had the opportunity, but they're adding them to the roster at this time. So you never know what will happen. So that's one of the things we're going to talk about tonight. We also want to look at the Heisman Trophy. Those candidates that's for the Heisman Trophy. Our question will be, will Tua, Kyler, Dwayne win the Heisman? And that's Tua from Ohio State. Who would win the Heisman? Who would you vote for and why? And we're going to let each one of our expert talk about that, and we want you to they leapfrog all the teams to number 6. Now, the question has been, they gave several scenarios. One of the questions is that should Ohio State be ranked higher than Oklahoma? Oklahoma was up at probably 7th or 8th, and Ohio State was 10th. The win over Michigan, which was supposed to be the top defense in the country, beside, as we mentioned, about Clemson having one of the outstanding defense. Michigan was mentioned in the same breath, but they was really taken to the woodshed this past weekend. So should Ohio State be ahead of Oklahoma? But we'll see how this weekend goes, because Ohio State will be playing Northwestern, who would not, if they have to beat them handily. They had to beat them 60 to 7, 8, 10, 12, 14. I'm just giving some numbers to make sure they are really in the running to leapfrog, because one of the teams, either Georgia, if Georgia lose, they're going to completely drop behind them. And if Alabama lose, then you got another question. Georgia move up to 3rd, and do Alabama drop down to 3rd, and Georgia move to 4th. So stay at 4th. So we'll kind of see how that goes. So there's a lot of scenarios going on. We're going to continue to talk about it, and we want you to be a part of it. So make sure you call in and be a part of the show. So the big question about the college football playoff ranking for 2018, who's in, who's out. We heard those names, but next Sunday night, we'll know who will serve in those 4 spots, but all the other teams who will be in the New Year's Six Bowl as well. So we look forward to see. Now, the question has come up, and we want to talk about it, and we want you to talk about it as well. should Central Florida be higher ranked than they are. Apparently, the committee don't think so. One of the biggest things you're going to see there, they lost their quarterback, Mackenzie Milton, to a real serious injury, leg injury, and he won't be back this year. So, is the backup quarterback going to be capable to just not only take them through that game, but be able to play well enough to win games in the future, to get them coming up Saturday against Memphis in the American, if I'm not mistaken, American Conference Playoff Championship. So we'll kind of see how that's going to turn out. So you got several games on. Oklahoma be taking on Texas. Texas beat Oklahoma a little earlier in the year in the big fair they have, the Texas Fair. They had a big ball game. So Texas beat Oklahoma. Even though they had a 2-3 touchdown lead, Oklahoma came back and brought it down to 7. So Kyler Murray brought them back. So we're going to kind of see, will this vault him in or ahead of Tua for the Heisman? We'll have to see, will Dwayne Haskins vault ahead of Tua? Because even though Tua had a super weekend last weekend with 6 touchdowns, the talk is that he still have all the weapons around him where the other teams don't have the weapons, Kyler Murray, and he's still winning and putting up numbers that are as great as Baker Mayfield, who won the Heisman. Dwayne Haskins is up to like 42 touchdowns. That's a lot of touchdowns in about 11 games, 12 games. So that's a lot of touchdowns. Then we're going to look at the game between LSU and Texas A&M. Went into 7 overtime. We want you to share your thoughts of what you thought about that game, because I'm going to tell you honestly, I was watching the game to 24 with less than, I guess, 2 minutes in the game. I turned the game off. I turned the ball game off. Then I get a call that said, are you watching Texas A&M and LSU? I said, that game over with. LSU won the game. They even gave Ed Ogeron a Gatorade bath, like premature. So the game ended up 74-72. It's exciting, a lot of offense, no defense. So the question is, should they change the overtime rule for high school? And we want you to share your thoughts on that as well. We want you to be a part of the show. Voice your opinion, because we are the voice of the historical Black colleges, the university, high school, middle school, and all schools in the southeastern part of the United States, as well as the country. So we're very excited about that. So the last topic we're going to talk about, and we kind of touched on it when we was talking about the rankings. The question will be, who's more deserving for the last playoff, Oklahoma or Ohio State? We want your opinion on that. And then we'll look at some high school playoff down to semifinals in Florida, Georgia, then down to Alabama, South Carolina. So we're going to just talk about some of the team. Our resident expert, which is Coach Tony Starwood, Touchdown Tony. He will be talking about some high school playoff results and join face. So we're Facebook, and I'm pausing because I can't get my Periscope to come up, but I have it in my mind. Channel The Smith Way Production is the channel. Okay, these individuals, I want to make sure share your name with those individuals who maybe at this time might be listening, because you don't see a picture up, a video up. We have Erica King. Erica, I do appreciate you for joining us. And I do appreciate Preacher Man Michael Clemens, one of my ball players from McKenzie. You'll join us. Tanja Ford Young, Tara Martin, Maria Incarmacho, and Shawanda Martin. Those are the individuals that stayed around. Some was on there, but after we lost the picture, they dropped off. I appreciate it. And then for you individuals on Instagram, I do appreciate you joining us. And the ones that's on our channel on YouTube television, thank you very much. But we're getting to the end of the show, so we can get ready to start our other show up at 8 o'clock. We have about 24 minutes. Now, what we do with this program, we have another show that comes to you, will be coming to you on Friday at 4 o'clock Central Standard Time, 5 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. And that show will focus on the hottest topics of the week. There's many topics that have been occurring during the week. We're going to talk about them on Friday at 4 o'clock. And that's Balling with the Doc, host by myself, Dr. Lorenzo D. Smith. The call-in number is 347, same as this number, 857-4192. The web link is www.blogtalkradio.com/The Smith Way Production. We also have a show every other Monday. We just had one this past Monday, which was outstanding. It was a good show we had, and It's Time to Stop Playing was the title of the show on Monday. So if you didn't join us, be ready to get back with us, because we're going to talk about some other things. It's going to be part 2 of It's Time to Stop Playing on the following Monday, not this Monday coming up, but the following Monday. So we'll get that show kicked off in December. So at this point, it will be December the 9th, if I'm not mistaken. We'll look at that time to make sure. Now, we do appreciate you joining us on each one of our networks. And you have Facebook Live, not live now. Actually, the video is gone. It's stopped, but we still have the voice, and we're able to talk with you. And I appreciate those individuals joining Talking Sports Plus previous show. We have Instagram, and we do appreciate each and every one of you who's joining us on Instagram. We have YouTube Live and SNL TV channel, which is the Smith Way Production. Now, you also can get this show on demand, this episode. That's what we're going to call it, the episode on demand. You can go to Google Plus. You can also go to Talk, and then you can go to LinkedIn. And some people said LinkedIn. So we could say you can join us there, or go to Blog Talk Radio to get our show tonight. So again, we had a great time just come before you and share some things about our show that's coming up tonight. We do want you to join us tonight at 8 o'clock Central Standard Time. And what we want to make sure we do every time, we want to be able to give you some real positive music when we leave here. And like I said, unfortunately, our network didn't act like we wanted to, but it happened like that. And this seemed like it's always something that's taken away from what we're doing here. So we're going to keep on grinding, and I do appreciate you. We're having a tough night tonight at what we need to do, but we're not going to give up. But we'll be ready to go at 8 o'clock Central Standard Time. We look like we're having more than technical difficulty trying to play the various music we're trying to play. So we don't own the rights to the music when we were trying to play it, but we just want to share it with you. So again, we're about to close the show. We had a struggle tonight, but God is with us. He's guiding us and keeping. He'll do the same for you. All you got to do is just tell him your desires, offer him that prayer every day and every night, and just say, I love you. I give you the praise. I love you, God. But as we close our show out, keep on grinding. That's my hashtag. Also, hashtag communicate forward with the number 4 understanding. And last but not least, as we close the night out until we get to our show at 8 o'clock, I love you. It ain't a thing you can do about it. Awesome night, and we will talk with you later.